Now, I want to start by pointing out, I've had a lot of people talking about Secretary of State Clinton's achievements in her memoirs, and they always say that she lists among her achievements the normalization of relationship with Burma or Myanmar. I always mispronounce the new name. I'll call it Burma just to make sure
Burma is good.
Burma's good. Burma's easy. And so that's always at the top of her list for what she got done. What was going on when she was rationalizing the relationship or normalizing the relationship with this Muslim minority?
Well, I mean, it's true that, I think there is something to that achievement, and that Burma had been, this brutal dictatorship that was kind of in China's orbit. And then I'm usually very skeptical of economic sanctions. And in fact, when we imposed sanctions on Burma back in the early 2000s, I thought, oh, it's not going to work. And in fact, I think partly because of those sanctions, partly because Burma, for all kinds of reasons, wanted to be closer to the West, it began to become a little bit more democratic, wanted to connect more with the West, and so the Obama administration, negotiated with them. President Obama visited Burma. And all that is real, but there's also something else going on, which is this horrific abuse in the northwest of the country, and this year it's gotten worse.
All right, let's describe it to people. In your column, and I'll link it over at HughHewitt.com, they've created their own apartheid that you say would make the South Africans of the old generation blush.
That's right. It's 1 million people. Based on their ethnic group. They're called the Rohingya, and they're locked up in closed quasi-concentration camps or locked up in their villages. They're not allowed to leave to get jobs, in some cases to go to fields, to farm. They're not allowed schools. And the worst of all was that early this year, they were denied medical care. So they're left in these camps essentially to rot. Women go into labor and can't get a doctor to deliver the baby. Babies get sick. There's no medical attention. And, this is in the 21st century, allowing people on the basis of their ethnicity to die of the simplest things.
Well, it sounds like the Warsaw Ghetto. It really is astonishing that I've never heard of this before. And I'm curious, of the people who cover Burma, and of the people that you talk to about foreign affairs generally, how many of them are like me, utterly ignorant of this problem?
In the foreign affairs world, it has gotten, people are to some degree aware of it, but I think they tend to diminish it. They say, look, it's terrible what is going on with the Rohingya, but overall, Burma is a success story. It's moving toward democracy. Many parts of the country are improving. The economy is improving, and so we shouldn't we shouldn't become too obsessed with the atrocities happening to the Rohingya.
Can we have a success story when there's a genocide or at least an apartheid involved?
Yeah, I think that's exactly the point, that it's true that there is a lot of progress in the rest of the country, but when you have 1 million people who are subjected to ethnic cleansing, to crimes against humanity, to what some scholars call a slow-burning genocide, then you just can't make excuses.